Hello everyone, and welcome to my bold and beautiful Today Update channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. How will Thomas handle RG rivalry? Brooke senses coming family conflict. The bold and the beautiful spoilers validate that Thomas Forrester is the current it guy in the rag trade. His inspired designs smashed so hard in Rome, Italy, that hope for the future skyrocketed to the top of the fashion world. She came veritably attracted to him in recent months. Being his longtime poet, all Thomas demanded to do was stop his grim pursuit of her and concentrate on keeping himself on the position, which he'd done. Meanwhile, R.G. Forrester has come the apple of Eric Forrester's eye. R.G. began designing at the bottom of his forefather, with their cooperative new line set to compete what Thomas and Ridge Forrester are producing. A shot fired across the fabric-covered bow. Eric said to let Ridge know that he's coming for him. Brooke took that communication and bare it to her longtime love, as Eric asked. Ridge was surprised that his pater would suppose he was trying to push him out of Forrester Creations, but the further Ridge addresses, the more he confirms that Eric is right. It isn't that Ridge wants Eric to move to a delve. Still, he's not open to his father's design and doesn't want him to be involved in serious business opinions. Eric Forrester, ready to prove who is still boss. Eric wanted to produce a new line and originally began talking with Ridge about it. McCook's character would have liked to work with Ridge on what he intends as his last line. But Ridge responded by telling Eric to relax and enjoy withdrawal. Kay's character is designing and running the day-to-day affairs at the company's home base in Los Angeles, California by himself. The stress Ridge is flaunting is incompletely due to Steffi Forrester Finnegan demanding to leave city because of the trouble she feels Shayla Carter again represents. Eric's address is unusual because he has not projected that station in recent times after passing the cane to Ridge and Steffi. Thomas Forrester sees both sides. Thomas is thankful that his father let him have an alternate chance. So he remains on his stylish guest and wants to keep the family peace. Ridge did hear Thomas say that he understood where Eric was coming from, but Atkinson's character doesn't know that Ridge believes RG has the most gift. That comment was participated with Brooke and included Ridge not wanting Thomas to know his studies. Early prints of the designs RG and Eric are creating are veritably encouraging. So Eric will make his new line come a reality. That will elevate RG to elevation within the family and the fashion world. How Thomas responds to that may test his redemption sweats on B&B. Eric is determined to win his battle against Ridge. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say that Eric Forrester and his son Ridge Forrester are going to have a fashion battle that you are going to want to miss. The two of them are clearly going to find themselves in uncharted waters as Eric and Ridge plan to fight it out on the runway. Keep reading below for everything you need to know. The bold and the beautiful spoilers. Eric is determined to win his battle against Ridge according to the rearmost edition of Soap Opera Digest. Despite their professional approach to their work, it looks like Eric is determined to win this competition. Actor John McCook, who plays Eric Forrester on the hit CBS Cleaner, puts it this way to the publication in a new interview. Eric is determined to do one last heritage line that shows his chops and gift and reaches back to the real fineness of what Eric always did with his designs. So they come up with this idea of a showdown and say, let's see how it works out on the runway, and we will let the buyers decide. The actor continued, at the end of a catching, they always get orders and they will see who gets the most orders. On paper, it seems good-natured and good sportsmanship and a fun family competition, but down deep for Eric, it isn't a fun competition at all. It's veritably important to him that he wins this and shows Ridge that his skill is still there. The bold and the beautiful spoilers. What's next for Eric Forrester? The bold and the beautiful spoilers also say Eric will pull out all the stops to prove he still has it, which will lead to farther family drama. John McCook continued, Weaver J working with his grandpa and not his father, so that creates this pressure between Ridge and RG and Eric. Ridge says it's forfeiture that Eric and RG are working together, but it rattles him. The bold and the beautiful suckers will have to tune in every day to find out what will be next. In the meantime, let us know what you suppose by leaving us a line with your studies in our commentary section below. The bold and the beautiful charade weekdays on the CBS network. check your original rosters for times. Is Ridge right? Eric wants to feel productive and wanted. The bold and the beautiful spoilers validate that Ridge Forrester assumed his consanguineous father was happy with the way he and Steffi Forrester Finnegan were running the family business. The bottom hemline was cheered in Rome, Italy, and the nethermost plutocrat line is healthy. Eric Forrester allowed Ridge and Steffi to be the current heads of the Forrester Creations. FICO founder and the late Stephanie Forrester of Forrester Creations has not retired. He simply stepped back in recent times so the coming two generations could make their marks. Still, the failure of the line Eric and Zend Forrester Dominguez produced in the absence of Thomas Forrester soaked. So with time and reflection, Eric decided that he was going out on top by returning to work. Eric Forrester sees the end. Eric is a realist. Like others in his generation and the generations that have passed in the so-called ultramodern period, McCook's character recognizes that some youngish soul's dereliction to the cubbyhole intelligence. It's easy to believe that someone of Eric's age is stuck in time. Indeed, though he acclimated to multiple duplications of technology and numerous newer performances of whatever than those who are 1/6 his age. But the shallow only see his Argentine hair, slower walk, and incapability to incontinently recall information. Yes, Eric knows he's not going to live ever and that time flows. But he's choosing to use his gift and wisdom for as long as possible. R.J. Forrester gets it now. R.J. Forrester is a good choice. Writing that particular character into this plot is wise. Just as people of Eric's age range can be typecast, so too can those who are in R.J.'s generation. This compassionate youthful man values his forefather. He doesn't demean and grounded on his birth time. Steffi's need to flee Los Angeles, California keeps her down from what projects as a contentious series of issues. Like her family, she demonstrated openness to the wisdom of her elders, with Ridge representing that reference. Ridge Forrester sees full picture. Ultimately, observers aren't yet suitable to know if this plot is about arthritis and general aging issues or commodity further. Is Eric demonstrating fleetly advancing madness symptoms or just getting slightly absent-minded? Ridge has a lot on his adulatory plate, with Steffi not being present in her co-chief executive officer part, so he's not putting his father out to pasturage. But everyone will have to review Ridge's original response if Eric ultimately receives a serious opinion. Indeed, if that happens, FC's true head can still profit, as can the company and its guests, by fastening on design with the backing of his grandson, RJ, on B&B, the critic's POV. Just when I thought that I could breathe a sigh of relief and rejoice in circumstances preventing the malign Hope/Liam/Steffi triangle to continue eating, the show B&B goes and returns to the equally dry well. That is Eric versus Ridge for the future of Forrester Creations, a plotline that began to lose steam soon after being introduced in the pilot episode some 36 years ago. The saving grace of this storyline: John McCook is front and center, though does Evie Ray storyline. This man has had have to feature his body betraying him. At this point, what does function as it should? And the writer staying true to Ridge's throughline of being an egotistical, insensitive son of a Stephanie. What doesn't work is the betrayal of the always solid Eric/Brooke relationship. If Brad Bell had decided to keep his characters in character, Brooke would have already sided with her favorite ex-husband, rather than deflating Ridge's ego and hitting him where it hurts, considering it's Brooke that's been inspiring his latest rash of designs. Now there's the already built-in conflict that Bell should be mining.